Boys, we just capped off week 5, and a couple of things got me extremely excited this week. Number one, Bill Belichick, the GOAT, the deflator himself. What happened, boys? 69 points to give up 69 points in 2 weeks, suffering his worst loss, followed by his second worst loss ever. Luck's running out in New England, and fuck me, I am all for it. On the flip side, luck looks pretty good for the Bears. The Bears are looking absolutely fantastic. Now, it might be temporary. I don't have a lot of faith in them, but fuck it. They should take this game, try and roll it into another because it was damn exciting. And my New York Jets, I am so happy that they got to rub it in the face of Sean, that spineless fuck Peyton. Although I am really disappointed that it cost us a second Achilles tear to get our second win. And if we keep that up, we're going to be pretty fucked by the end of the season. two wins, 2 Achilles tears from 2 starters. But you know what? I'll ride them while I can. Fellas, how was week 5 for everyone this week?
Mitch?
69
points, not bad.
He already said it.
It was not good, was it?
Second Achilles tear.
How far back can you wind a clock?
AVT. Yeah, how far back can we wind the clock? Hopefully 2010.
I'll take that.
That's not bad.
You'll take that? Yeah, you're gonna need it. To answer Matt's question, yeah, AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker, absolute gun of a guard and a tackle and an everywhere man. 2 years in a row in Denver. And I'm just so glad that it didn't happen to Breece Hall again this year, because Breece Hall...
So last year you lost Elijah Vera Tucker and
Breece Hall in the same game in Denver. I don't know why we're playing in Denver again, because we played in Denver last year, but we are. It is what it is. But it is what it is, boys. But like I said, 2 wins, 2 Achilles tears, and hopefully if we get to a 10-win season, we don't lose another 8 boys.
Breece Hall coming back to his form he had last year, looking good.
Ooh, that run.
150 yards nearly. 22 attempts.
Man, I had my 4-month-old on my lap, and I fucking almost threw her across the room. Not intentionally, but just in excitement. And my wife's like, calm down, the baby. And I'm like, yeah, fuck. I mean, it's just good to see the Jets win. And I hate Sean Payton. I think that guy is such a fuckwit.
Well, what did they say at full time? He said to Sean Payton, stay humble or something.
Yeah. As he should have. Sean Payton, Sean Payton, fuck that guy. He said that Nate Hackett did the worst coaching job in a while, and he probably did do a pretty bad job coaching. But I mean, this is meant to be a bit of a fraternity, and we're not meant to insult each other.
I have to give credit to the Pick 6 on Facebook, who posted this regarding Denver. 5 weeks into the season, Denver have lost to their former head coach Josh McDaniels, former defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio, former head coach Vic Fangio, former head coach Nathaniel Hackett, and former ball boy Mike McDaniel.
Wow.
You know the best part is that ball boy put 70 points on that team.
Who are Denver playing next week?
Who cares?
Any other ex-coaches?
Hopefully New England.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, that's a win you need. But that might be a trap game for you guys.
We
or
play
vice
the
versa.
Raiders.
Denver-
We play McDaniels and Jimmy.
Isn't John Fox an assistant at Kansas City? Didn't he used to coach the Denver Broncos? I'm pretty sure John Fox is in KC on the staff somewhere.
KC was going to win anyway.
Surely John Fox is retired.
No,
I think somewhere in
I'm
a
pretty sure
pole house in the Midwest.
What a stinker
Maybe
that's
a
going to
nursing
be.
home.
that is a
nursing home.
He's pretty old, man. He's very great. He reminds me of Mike Pence.
Okay, I'll pay that, yeah.
That's going to be a stinker Thursday night. Broncos Chiefs.
I thought you meant the third Republican debate. is that on again?
John Fox has entered the chat.
Probably beat Mike home in the polling.
Oh, well, look, as always, we're going to start things off with our 4 downs, where we've got a hot take, something to bring you, something to open the discussion, an opinion. Maybe it's click-worthy, because that's how we get the traffic. Who wants to kick us off? I want someone on this side of the room to kick us off.
Okay.
Let's send it to Matt.
Okay. All right. I'm going to retract last week's statement. This relates to my SK, where I said Puka Nacua is going to be the bad SK for the week. Didn't turn out to be the case. Also had Cooper Kupp back, putting up just as many points from a fantasy perspective as Cooper Kupp. My down is by season end, the LA Rams will be in the top 3 in terms of receiving yards as a team, and those two will be considered the best wide receiver duo in the entire league.
You reckon?
Yeah.
The Pooks and the Coops.
The
Look
Pooks
good against
and
the Eagles' day.
Puka Nacua.
Hakuna Matata.
Means no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah, not for Matt Stafford's days, that's for sure. He's got absolutely.
He's never been shy of slinging it. So
Yeah.
And more so now.
offensive head coach. Yeah.
They've got Kyrene Williams at running back, who's been reasonably good, but they look better. They look the best when they're throwing it. They're only 300 yards behind Miami, who are leading.
They played a
total
really
yards
tough
so
schedule
far.
as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. They haven't got the toughest schedule.
No, but they have played. They have played a really tough one already.
Yeah, exactly.
It's even more impressive.
Yeah, so you look at looking at other duos in the league. Speaking of Miami, I think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle have not been as. I mean, Tyreek Hill's been incredible. Jalen Waddle's been battling with
got his
injury.
first touchdown.
Who else is there? There's Chris Godwin, Mike Evans,
JJ, and Addison probably now.
Well, I mean, has Addison put up many yards?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, he's been actually quite good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been quite good.
Yeah, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're more well-rounded Philly than just wideouts. Good tight end.
Who are the Bears wide receivers, Matt?
So
For our listeners, he was one of the 30% to bench DJ Moore.
no, I think it was only.
this to come up.
I think it was only 30% of people started DJ Moore, and in our fantasy league, which does have a couple of adjusted points, so it might be more than what you've seen, but not by much. I mean, we just add one extra point if it's a 50-yard touchdown. Of which there were
2 or 3.
2 or 3 of those. 56 points on the bench, Matt. How did you feel about that? Have you got anything to say for yourself?
Yeah,
Treat this as a press conference.
I was preparing for an ambush, so I did come in prepared.
Hey, I coached
did come in
against you and I
prepared.
didn't raise it. So I'm thankful.
I came prepared. I've worked out that even if I had started DJ Moore, I still would have lost to Mitch by 0.6 of a point.
So what that tells us is that nobody at home trusts Matt and his SK picks because he clearly cannot draft a team. If you've got a player that's going to put 56 on the board and you still can't win against this guy who was at the time 0-4.
Yeah, I'm defending champion though.
Yeah, you're defending it with donuts so far.
Yeah.
So
I've been struggling.
Only way up.
And I've been going terrible on the SKs as well. Both my ones from last week stank. The week before I had McCaffrey having a rest, 3 touchdowns in the first 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. I mean, to your point, I really like what's happening over there. So I don't know. It's
I couldn't believe the snap share that Cooper Kupp got at his first game back. Just completely picked up from where he left off.
Yeah, but did you see? I was about to say Sean Payton, and my brain went, "That's not the guy." Sean McVay. Did you see his press conference where he said something along the lines of, "It says he's limited, but he's not limited. He's full go."
And even Cooper Kupp Limited is better than most unlimited.
Perhaps not better than Puka Nakua, who is proving himself to be pretty fucking good.
What round was he taken in? Puka.
The Nuns. I think he was undrafted, wasn't he?
No, he was like 5th round.
Yeah, it was
Was he?
5th, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Low. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Good find.
fantastic find. Won't beat out Brock Purdy in terms of good finds, but
good.
pretty damn good. Who wants to go next on the opinion list?
Talking of quarterbacks and draft steals, the Patriots need to ensure they don't try and do that, and it is time. It is time to go for the number 1 pick for Coach Belichick to swallow the pride, and he's got enough street cred in the organisation to either tank and leave at the end of the season of his own accord. They'll never sack him, or tank and get another go with another quarterback, a second chance at drafting something and getting it right, because the Patriots' only hope of being competitive is in 3 or 4 years' time when Buffalo's slow a little as Josh Allen gets older, when the Jets are having to find the successor to Aaron Rodgers. They're so far behind all the teams in the division. It is unbelievable.
But do you trust him to draft properly?
Yeah, I mean, he's not coaching well at the moment, but he's obviously a better coach than GM. What's the alternative?
Tom Brady.
What, to be the GM or to come back and play?
Anything might be
Coach?
better. Maybe he needs to bring in his old mate, the Tuna, to come in and help him rebuild this team.
I don't mind Billy O head coaching while not being GM with a new talented quarterback.
Yeah? Billy O.
Yeah. Did a reasonable job with Deshaun Watson and in Houston.
Yeah, I
They just need
suppose.
to freshen it up. Like the problem with the Patriots is it's really difficult to see a team get worse from week 1 to week 2 than week 3 to week 2 Sorry, week 2, week 3's worse, week 4's worse, week 5 worse. I know they conceded slightly less points, but New Orleans are well behind Dallas, as a team, and they're getting worse every week, and they're going to get, I'd say, boat raced by the Raiders on the weekend.
Yeah, what you really need is a 17-game sled against the Jets. That's really what you need.
Somehow we won against the Jets, but I mean, I'm actually annoyed that we won now.
Yeah, well, that could be the one game. I mean, I remember with the Jets, it was the Chargers game. Justin Herbert was a rookie. We had no business winning that game. There was no point in winning that game.
That's Gase. That's the Gase.
That's the Gase last year. And winning that game cost us Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. So, I know what you mean, and that could come back to bite you in the ass. And who knows, maybe the Jets purposely lose to you again later in the season if our season's done, just to make sure you don't get it, because that rivalry exists.
I don't think the Patriots will win any more than, I'd say, 4 games.
Yeah,
at the moment.
Bad.
They've scored 55 points in 5 games. There's 9 players that have scored as many, if not more, touchdowns than them this season.
Yeah.
Miami have scored nearly 4 times the amount of points as the Patriots. They scored more points than the Patriots did in one game.
Jesus. So let me ask you, what happens first? Belichick retires, or there's a mutual splitting up? Because they're not going to fire him. They'd never embarrass him.
No. And no chance he gets fired, nor should he be. But it'll end at the end of this year unless he desperately wants to coach and they say you can
When's his contract
with a new quarterback. I don't even know, to be honest. I don't think it matters. Yeah.
I don't think he has a contract. I mean, do you know what I love about Bill Belichick? He's the only coach in Madden that doesn't have a name and likeness, because he's not part of the coaching association. No, well, it's not the Players Association. They've got their own coaches union, and he's the only person. So every year they generate
every 4 years. They always have the same guy and then change it.
They generate some random AI model with a randomized name, and it's just fucking hilarious. Bill Belichick's never been in Madden, I don't think. Because he's actually also the only coach that represents himself. He has no agent.
But who wants to be in Madden anymore? Shit. Bring back 2K.
Conversation for another day. So, Pat's not looking great.
Oh, looking as worse as it ever has. But there's been plenty of good times. You just got to switch and go, well, when can we win again? And a fresh start's the only way. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to continue the quarterback chat, because my thing is this. We've watched a resurgent Bears team over the last couple of weeks, but we all know the reality. The Bears are a very, in terms of their roster, quite flawed across the board. And I reckon was it Ryan Pace? Is that what he's the GM's name?
Poles.
Ryan, whatever his name is. I sell as high as I can now. Justin Fields' stock this season will not be higher than it has been in the last 2 games. He's gone from looking incredibly bad to incredibly good very, very quickly. I don't think it's going to last. Like I said, I think the Bears are probably going to be lucky to win another couple of games. If I am the Bears, I sell high now. I get Justin Fields away from this team before Week 8's deadline.
In the same package as DJ Moore.
In this, who knows, right?
You sauce with your hot dog.
Yeah. Well, why not? But seriously, if I'm the Bears, the franchise is fucked right across the board. There's a coaching problem there. There are players that don't trust the team. There's just so many problems in that franchise right now that you may as well blow it up and blow it up properly. Justin Fields is talented, but I don't think he's going to be the answer. This is the problem with a quarterback that plays in spurts like Justin Fields. He looks really, really bad, and you scratch your head and you say, how can you fix this guy who's clearly throwing the ball off of the back of his linemen's helmets or holding onto it with open receivers in the end zone, and then he just flashes brilliance. That coaching staff can't get it out of him, so I cut my losses. I sell as high as I can right now. He could still definitely attract a first-round pick, in my opinion, because there will be a franchise out there that says this guy is more than salvageable and he has all the tools. He's just making dumb fucking mistakes because the coaching sucks balls.
And what franchise would that be in your mind?
Well, that's open for discussion.
Who would be a good trade partner?
You go little by little. See it with the Bears now trading Chase Claypool with his shocking displays.
Yeah, see, this is another really good example.
Church change.
Well, they get sixth or 7th rounder.
Yeah,
but
he can go and be the 14th piece in offense for Miami. That's
He's down the list there.
I think are there too many highly touted quarterbacks in this year's draft class though to not wait
Massive
and
number.
burn the pick now, as opposed to something you might just get by natural position in 12 weeks.
Well, I would think that there's probably a franchise that's going to be somewhere in the middle that would take a flyer on him. Like,
This smells like an NFC South, AFC South. The teams that always play on Thursday.
Well, here's a good
kind of
example.
conversation.
Let me give you a good example. There's one NFC South team that absolutely loved having this type of dynamic quarterback with an enormous arm who could run out of the pocket and just create absolute spectacular plays out of nothing.
Panthers.
No.
Falcons.
Michael Vick.
Mike Vick. I was thinking Cam
when
Newton.
I look at
Cam Newton as well. They
Justin,
just drafted him.
yeah, true. But when I look at Justin Fields, I compare him to Michael Vick. Except Michael Vick was way more interested in having dogs fight each other. But the reality is that I see that type of archetype in Justin Fields. If I'm the Falcons, I make that phone call. Desmond Ritter's.
Well, Fields is probably a better version of Desmond Ridder.
He's a way better version of Desmond Ridder, but I think he's also the poor man's Michael Vick, if you will. And that franchise needs something to reinvigorate the fan base. Mm-hmm. And I think that he would bring a lot of excitement to that team. But the other side of this is, he's not the only strong rusher there. He's now got, if he goes there, he's got Bijan Robinson.
Algier.
He's got Algier. He's got
Drake London.
Drake London is a fantastic number one wide receiver. And Drake London's a really crafty, quick guy. DJ Moore is like a big guy, but Drake London's like got the size, but he's a bit more crafty. You've got a way better offensive line there that can give him a bit more time to escape the pocket as opposed to one that shits itself every time a little bit of pass rush and pressure is applied. I just think it makes a bigger difference. And I would argue that the Falcons' defense is a little bit better than the Chicago defense, and that's what you need when you've got a wow but turnover prone quarterback. Look at the Favre days in Green Bay. The reason why Favre could break the all-time leading interceptions record but still go down as a great, minus the fraud charges, is because of the fact that he always had good defenses in Green Bay. So if he threw the ball 70 yards down the field and it was picked off at the 10, the Green Bay defense could do something about that. You just don't get that opportunity in Chicago. So if he doesn't play clean, they're fucked.
Yeah, I just don't see the market being wide enough. Like, I get the Atlanta thing, and I can't really see it anywhere else in the league.
I have another one.
Yeah?
A middle-of-the-road team that we saw play today. They'll win probably 6-7 games. They won't have like an overly high draft pick. Las Vegas Raiders.
Not if they keep McDaniels, but he's not going to draft.
No
he's
way.
not going to want that type of quarterback.
No, but I don't know if they.
Yeah.
I don't know if they keep McDaniels.
Yeah, it depends on what happens.
It was funny. We mentioned the Atlanta offense and we didn't mention Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, well, actually,
What's
that's quite
happened to
telling.
him?
That is quite telling. What has happened to Kyle Pitts?
Was
Never
he
gets
number?
targeted.
It was number 4th. He got taken high.
It was high up.
Pick. Yeah.
Do you blame
Fourth
him
pick.
though?
No.
Do you blame the quarterback situation?
I can't see.
He's a great athlete.
I can't see any teams lining up for Fields unless Minnesota make a big change. Even in the South, like the areas you look at in the South, like New Orleans are a defensive team. I think like Tampa. I don't know. Carolina obviously just drafted Bryce Young. Indianapolis just drafted Richardson. Jacksonville have Lawrence. Houston just drafted Stroud. Mike Vrabel wouldn't have that type of player.
What about a team that just absolutely got fucking pillaged by the Bears in the Washington Commanders?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the quarterback's the Washington's problem, really. Like, I don't think that Sam Howell's gone that badly.
No.
Yeah. Well, no, he hasn't. But is he really the future of that franchise?
No, but I think that he hasn't shown any less at NFL level than Justin Fields.
Yeah, but you know who worked really well for Rivera?
Cam Newton.
Newton.
Yeah, Rivera won't be lasting the season though.
You don't reckon?
Yeah,
Going into
and they're not getting Bieniemy's former protege Mahomes. So.
Yeah. What about the Cardinals?
Yeah,
Joshy Dobbs,
if they
Kyler.
move on Kyler, that's the thing. Like, what are they going to do?
I think they're going to move on from Kyler. I think it's a Deshaun situation. Except Kyler's already got the contract, so he's happy to play Call of Duty at home. But
Where's he going to end up as well? Like that's
scrap heap, dumpster fire, probably selling fucking sandwiches at Arby's.
surely Kyler Murray will end up somewhere.
Yeah, no, he probably will. He'll probably end up in New England and be really, really good.
These guys he won the Heisman, didn't he, as well?
Yeah,
Pretty sure he won a
which
Heisman.
is just not always a good thing.
10-0 to start his NFL career.
Yeah, and then?
Yeah, but I mean, Justin Fields hasn't won 10 games total, has he?
No, I don't think so.
This goes into my 4 downs, which
Okay,
is...
let's get into yours.
Yeah, this off-season will be the most exciting, I reckon, for the QB market. So as of now, I know there's mock drafts whenever, but we're only 4 or 5 weeks into, but Drake May and Caleb are the only QBs meant to be taken in the first round. You have teams like the Patriots. You guys
Desperately need a quarterback.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've got the Vikings as well because Cousins is off contract this year, and I don't know, do they really want to sign him to another year or two?
No, Cousins will end up in New England.
I have Washington as well, and I have Tennessee, who Ryan Tannehill's off contract as well. So I think there's going to be a massive market on QBs, not only in the draft, but even trading up. You
could probably see even Bo Nix, Shador...
Yeah.
Maybe not
Well, they're the
first
ones
round,
that are-
maybe
yeah.
in
There's always
second
4 or 5,
Yeah.
and some that are...
There's going to be a few.
But just with the QB market, like there's so many teams. Like even
Pittsburgh,
I know
may
you have
not.
Aaron Rodgers, but even knock on what Aaron Rodgers doesn't get through this year. What do you guys do?
We stay with Zach Wilson, who's actually looked good for the last 2 weeks. But see, it could be the Justin Fields thing too. Justin Fields looked good for 2 weeks too.
There's no doubt that the Hackett-Wilson thing is working.
It's starting to. Yeah, it is starting to fire up. And now that we've got, Breece Hall off a snap count.
And the thing with the Jets, like, regardless of whether Wilson was overdrafted, like, he's a first-round draft talent.
He is.
What do they do this year? Like, get a first-round draft talent whose body's not NFL ready and hasn't trained at all, hasn't been exposed to Rodgers.
Yeah, the Jets don't look at quarterback for another 2 to 3 years, I don't think.
No, it's probably a little bit too early to say definitely not, but it depends on what happens in the next 6 weeks, I reckon.
True.
But like you said with the Bears with Justin Fields, like you probably could get a first round pick of him because he's still on a rookie contract this year and next. And then from the Bears, because they have their pick was projected to get number 1, and the Panthers, because the Panthers are in trouble as well, even though like. Their draft pick, fucking what's his name?
Yeah, they're not going to move
Bryce
on
Young.
Bryce
They're
Young.
not
hasn't done well yet. Hasn't done well yet, but they need weapons. And the funny thing is, they traded a weapon in DJ Moore for a first round pick, and they really need a wide.
I don't mind that. Like
Sorry about all this DJ Moore talk. It's just a great week.
This is the most that DJ Moore. This is probably the most that DJ Moore has ever come up in a podcast ever.
Yeah, like they should just be
They got to wait.
accumulating picks and picks and picks.
Yeah, I agree. They should be trading back.
Even if the Bears, this may go into my garbage time question later. I won't spoil it, but like even if you're the Bears, you have the number 1 pick, and you love Fields and want to stay with him. Imagine the trade package you can get for that.
Yeah, it'll be.
I know Caleb's like a generational, was another Trevor Lawrence sort of player, Andrew Luck, but that trade package, teams will pay a hefty price for it.
There's so many more. There's heaps of other teams that got questions as well. Like, have Pittsburgh got the right guy? Have Green Bay got the right guy? Like, there's so many questions. There'd only be 12 to 15 teams happy with their quarterback. And some of them are like, oh, we're just happy because we drafted them 5 months ago. Like Colts and Panthers and Houston, although Stroud's been the best of the young quarterbacks. But outside of like Jacksonville and the elite 5 or 6 teams, like, and maybe the Chargers, like, I don't think anyone's unwilling to move off their quarterback.
So are you telling me that in Tennessee, they're potentially not considering that banana peel eating motherfucker as their, like,
I forgot about him.
the future of that franchise?
I said last week he drinks mayonnaise. He puts it in
Wouldn't
his
think
coffee.
so. I don't
need to make a
Drinks
correction.
mayonnaise.
Seems a fair way away from playing.
Yeah, he does seem a way away. He kind of reminds me of Geno Smith though a little bit.
When they draft him early third or
Second.
early
Second,
33rd pick.
and like
Second pick in the second
and like
round.
Geno Smith, you throw him out there too early, and he's going to be shit. 10 years later, he might prove himself because he does have all the physical tools. He's got the size, but Geno Smith's problem and the reason why he dropped down draft boards is his immaturity and his attitude.
That was it.
People didn't like him, and I think Will Levis has got the same type of problem. Apparently, it's his attitude, and give him a good 3 years to learn properly. Whereas Geno Smith came out there as a rookie and, just got demolished because he wasn't ready. And then he got punched out by his own teammate. And then we ended up with Ryan Fitzpatrick. One extremely good year. Brandon Marshall. What a fucking year. Last time I was happy as a Jets fan not drinking this shit to drown in the game. But
Now Geno's on his revenge tour the last 2 years.
He is.
They're in a strange spot, Tennessee, but aren't they? Like
They're not
They're just
heaps bad.
caught-
They're
yeah,
not good.
they're like an 8 to 10 win team, and they have been for 2 years. They had a couple of chances.
Even
but-
Derrick Henry, like you're looking at probably another year at him.
they're not going to win.
productiveness.
They're not going to be a Super Bowl competitor in the rest of his career, and he's the best player.
Well,
that's ever played for the franchise.
he'll end up at Philly.
They were the number one seed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it was more than 2, wasn't it?
It was a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it just 2021?
I don't know. I think it feels like it was the Tennessee were the number 1 seed before COVID.
They've had chances, but they're well coached. They're physical. But I think it was when they had Ryan Suck up there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes,
vacuum. Then
the
going to win
vacuum
titles at
indeed.
Tampa.
The vacuum indeed. Well, boys, let's cap that off. We've thrown down our 4 downs. I guess it's out, and it's time for our game reviews. So, as always, we pick 5. Now, something we forgot to do the last couple of weeks that we're bringing back. I'm going to point this to the camera. You can see this bad boy here, right? This is a bottle of really shitty tequila, and when we finish the bottle, it'll be a bottle of really shitty something else. And the point is that whoever comes last in terms of the picks every week is meant to take a shot. He's meant to take a shot because he fucked up. And we're going to find out who did that this week, but I have to actually take one in lieu because last week I came equal last with the fellas, but I made some pretty bold predictions about a Denver-Chicago game.
Yep, you predicted a 9-5 scoreline. You got the pick right. It was
And nearly the margin.
And nearly the margin.
And nearly the margin, but
Total points was totally off.
just a bit off. So I'm going to take it, and
And was it the Denver Jets game that was 9? Was it 9-5 at some
it
point?
was 9-5 at one point. I was thinking to myself, if it finishes that way, I might have to neck myself before the next podcast episode. But anyway, so we haven't done this yet on the podcast, but to this season and to drowning my sorrows for making a bad pick, this is the
John.
punishment I get.
You drink it with orange,
Oh, that stuff's still fucking
with
shit.
cinnamon.
Or mixed.
Matt, you have number 4 bolded incorrectly.
Oh, do
the
I?
Cowboys game.
What are you talking about? Did you not pick the Cowboys?
You did.
What are you talking about?
You did, Mitch. You
Sorry.
picked the Cowboys.
Yeah, but the Niners won.
Oh,
You got the
thank you.
score
I got
wrong.
the score the other way
If
around.
only.
That could have been embarrassing.
Could you imagine?
Oh,
No,
please.
instead-
Why did you bring him up? I would have been like, yes, I was in a
the
wrong
Niners,
game.
the Niners for you guys are like the modern day
Yeah.
Packers.
Next one.
You got to
Yeah.
do that bolding the other way. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's just you
Packers.
can't get over the hump. No, it reminds me of the Colts and Patriots early 2000s that Manning couldn't get it over. Manning couldn't get over Brady.
Yeah,
Like then again, that was in divisionals.
yeah,
and
because you
playoffs.
guys have like made the Super Bowl and stuff like that. And
Well,
yeah.
hey, Brady stopped Manning.
Yeah,
what, 3 or
Dak
4
Prescott
times?
versus Brock Purdy. That's going down for the fucking ages, boys. That's going to
We'll
be the
see
one we're
this
talking
year.
about in 20 years, like Manning Brady.
What?
What are you smoking, you dickhead?
No, I'm saying that, like you said, that the Packers like our Trump team. Like we can't get over them.
I feel like Dallas has had a lot of
The
those.
Pacific time zone, that's what it is. You got
You reckon it
spanked
is?
in Arizona.
Speaking
Yeah.
of time zone, should we get into our reviews for the first game?
Yeah.
London.
The first game was on an interesting time zone.
It was.
Yes, it
The
was.
jet lag Bills flying into London to meet the acclimated Jaguars.
Yes, and John
And-
saw this.
And by the way, it was the
Yeah.
Bills' home game. Did you know that?
I mentioned that last week.
Yeah, oh, did you? Well,
did,
just
I
in
did.
case the listeners and the viewers and everyone else in between forgot, it was a home game for the Bills.
How does that work? Like,
I don't know.
it's ridiculous.
Anyway,
Whose home game is it this week when it's Tennessee? It's
Bolt.
Tennessee. Isn't it?
It's
Tennessee. Yeah, it's at
it's the
Tennessee.
Titans. It's at Tennessee,
Yeah,
but
at
it's
Tennessee.
a long way away
Yeah.
from Tennessee.
That is a.
Are they playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium again?
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
Hey,
Yeah.
first in the league, not bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of winning
The
going on in
great
Tottenham.
Rich
at the
Good on
moment.
Ange.
Eisen, the great Rich Eisen calling the game again,
And the great Richarlison up in Tottenham. Anyway, keep going.
Keep going. You want to hear this, don't you?
I do want to hear this because every game that I picked last
We
week,
did laugh at him.
You guys
We
laughed
laughed
at
at
me. You
him.
laughed. You fucking laughed. And
In my defense, I didn't laugh at this one. I was on the fence, but I did go with Bills.
But you went
pretty
with the wrong
emphatically.
side of the
I went with
fence.
the wrong one. So it was Jaguars 25, Bills 20. John was the only one that peaked at 20.
I think John also predicted that Diggs is going to throw
about-
throw a tantrum. Eh?
I did
Yeah,
predict that Diggs
he
would
did.
throw a tantrum.
He
And what
did.
did he do? Did he break a fucking iPad?
Man.
He did.
Yeah, he did. I fucking told you. Now, I think I also picked him to be a bad SK and he went off. But the point is, he still broke an iPad. So that's Nostradamus over here, fellas.
specific enough to be a good prediction.
Margin was correct. You're only off by 4 points in total match points as well. So this is a very solid pick, John.
This
Well
was,
done.
wasn't it? Thank you very much,
And
boys.
we all went with the Bills. Otherwise, moving on, we had the Titans at the Colts, and we all sweated over this one. And as were they, this was a back and forward. Whoever has the ball last type
Yes.
situation.
It was a
We
actually
thought
a bad
that'd
game.
be the case, and yeah,
Did Anthony Richardson go
second
out
quarter.
again?
Yep.
Man,
Shoulder injury.
what is going on with his? Has he completed a game yet this
Yeah,
season?
Man,
The
it's a
first one.
It's running. Look, when you're running as a quarterback, you're gonna get hit, and sometimes your body can't take that. This is not college anymore. The game is, even though it's like toned down in terms of the violence, it's still incredibly
Yeah.
violent versus college. You're playing big boys. This is just what happens. Look at Lamar Jackson. Look at Justin Fields in his first season. Like, these guys get hit, they get injured,
and he's bigger than they are by a long way.
and he is, yeah, but they're still gonna get injured.
Yeah,
Yeah. Colts still managed to win.
Yeah, they did.
Another one
It's
we
a
laughed
shame-
at.
it's-
Minshew magic, boys.
Well,
no.
it's
Minshew magic.
It's Gardner and it's Shane Steichen, man. Like, he is coaching up a storm there, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible what he's doing there. But yeah, 23-16.
And what do we all pick?
And once again, John, the contrarian, going 20-17. Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, baby.
John 2-0. The rest of the room 0-2.
Yeah, baby. I
Movie-
fucking told you.
Moving on, Cincinnati.
Did you tell us about this one?
Well,
What?
actually, do you know what? There was a point though that the Cardinals were up in
Yeah,
Cincinnati. It was
17-14
actually
or something,
Significantly.
yeah.
yeah. No, there was. It was actually looking really good. And it was good. It was tight. Obviously, at the end of the game, 31-21,
34-10.
34.
20. 20.
34-20. Yeah, it was 17-14, I think, just before the
Yeah,
half.
there was the Cardinals were up at halftime, and I was like, no way.
They had the momentum, man. Like,
Yeah, you
So
know.
had to set off a field goal on that long drive just before halftime.
I think James Conner, like, going out significantly,
Yeah.
like, slowed them down. If, like,
Yeah.
he stays healthy, that's a different outcome
Yeah,
altogether.
I totally agree.
Being
But,
physical is the way against Cincinnati at the moment.
Yeah. But Bengals did hold on. Well, hold on, it was a two score game, 34-20. Yeah, almost a 3-0 situation for you, John. You went with the Cardinals. The rest of us
Close.
went with the Bengals.
It's okay.
Evan 27-13, so you got the margin. So you got the
Sweet.
two score margin. Well done. Mitch and I called it a bit closer, 24-20 and 20-13 respectively.
Jamar Chase went off. He's
He
open.
needed it. He needed it.
I'm always fucking open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, just before we get off topic, did you see that video of someone asking Joe Burrow that if he had the first round pick in his fantasy draft, who would he pick, Jamar Chase or
JJ.
JJ? And he said no comment. And Jamar Chase was there like,
Chase did well for you, Mitch.
He did, yeah. He got similar.
Finally did something.
A little bit under DJ Moore. No, he got about 55 as well. Actually, he was insane.
DJ Moore. So anyway, that was that game. I was wrong on that one, but keep going. Next game.
Dallas Cowboys at San Francisco 49ers. We thought this would be Battle of the Juggernauts, but it's more like the Battle of a Juggernaut and a, I don't know, sloppy piece of poo, I guess.
It was bad. Dak Prescott looked really, really bad. 3 picks?
Terrible.
Hang on, 3 picks? What was
Three.
his specific statistics? Because you probably know them off by
3
heart.
picks, 1
What else?
touchdown.
3 picks, 1 tutty. Completion percentage? Yards?
I don't
Pretty
know.
fucking low.
130.
Yeah, it was bad. But you know what the best part was? Did anyone see George Kittle walking off and lifting his jersey, and there was a shirt underneath, and it said "Fuck Dallas"?
Oh, that's
Does no one see that?
Dallas and
We're
that,
gonna clip this, and there's gonna be like this "Fuck Dallas" come up
That's
because
like on Dallas Goated.
Dallas and that schedule.
it has a star.
That
yeah.
schedule. That's that same Niners team that Philly smashed last day when they played them.
Minus a QB.
Yeah.
Minus
those are,
minus
what,
Brock
six-
the Rock, mate.
60-point differential, maybe.
But boys,
Yeah.
he probably
yeah.
is one of the smartest QBs. Like, he doesn't try to, doesn't fucking launch the ball, just plays the easy options. I know Niners have all the weapons, they have all the plays, Debo Samuel in the back, all the trick plays, but boy, that's a difference between an elite team that's going to be further in the playoffs and a team that's going to be a one and done. But hey, Niners too good. Cowboys, you can say all the things. I'll give you guys a question. Besides Micah Parsons, name me one defensive player on Dallas.
Dexter Lawrence. No, he's New
Dexter.
York Giants. Sorry, who am I
DeMarcus
thinking
Lawrence.
of? DeMarcus
Trayvon
Lawrence.
Diggs. Well, he was on.
ACL.
Yeah.
Malik, please be a hooker and retire. You are shocking as a safety. Shocking.
Yeah.
He lets Kittle. I'm not going to take anything away with Kittle. He's a great player, but 2 of his touchdowns, he's looking at his other free safety. And he's like, "What are you doing, Malaka? You're on him.
He's
Fuck
not gonna,
Dallas
he's not
is
gonna-
with safeties.
Going
not
into
gonna be
the
a very good
weekend, you
hooker.
could get $1.80 for Philadelphia to win the division.
Yeah.
It's good odds.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
they're $1.36, but you could get $1.80 for them at the start of the weekend. I couldn't believe how close Dallas were to them in the market the whole time.
Yeah.
With the 3 picks, though, his first pick was overthrown.
Here we
Sucks.
go.
The second pick, okay, it was
Excuses.
in his hands and dropped. But the third, we just forced it.
Sorry,
When you're
didn't do my
chasing
homework.
points, you make stupid errors. But it took us the middle of the second quarter, so 5 minutes left in the game, in the half, to get a first down. Like the Niners there were all over us. They got every run, every pass. Just Fred Warner. Wow.
How many? To put special
Warner.
teams,
Wow.
put special teams to the side, and there's a perception that Dallas are the third best team in the NFC, and that might at the start of the season been fair. Out of the starting 22 players, how many of their best 22 would make the 22 at Philadelphia or San Francisco?
Probably 4.
Yeah, they are miles
Yeah.
off both teams.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
an
I agree.
enormous, I think, and I actually think Kansas City are a significant way behind Philadelphia and San Francisco as well.
Yeah, I think so this year. I think if you played Philly and Kansas City this year, vastly different result.
Yeah.
Doesn't get easy for Dallas. Chargers, bye, Rams, Eagles. Does not get easy.
Well, at least the bye you can sleep.
Well, the problem is that any
God.
Western time zone team, Dallas are really struggling against. You
Well,
got to go to California,
Which is incredible because Westerns are quite popular in the state of Texas.
Well, they have both LA
And so is country and Western.
both LA games are away, so they may as well just stay in LA for 3 weeks.
Oh, could you imagine?
Well, they've already lost in California once, in Arizona once, so I'd be trying to stay in Dallas if I were them. as often as possible.
Now we're off on the East Coast in Philly.
Might be less embarrassing for the plane to break
I
down.
can't
and not
believe
turn up.
I fell into that. I thought surely they'll be motivated enough to
prove
make a
something
statement here, and they were just not in the game at all. from
Punched in the
literally
mouth
the
several
first drive.
times.
Yeah.
The
Indeed.
game went another quarter, they would have got beat 60-10.
Yep.
Another half, they would have got beat 80-10.
100%.
Like, it was getting worse and worse.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we all picked San Fran.
No, me and Evan picked Dallas.
You both picked Dallas.
yeah,
I was going to say,
yeah,
except
yeah.
for Evan, but
No, I picked
okay.
Dallas. I don't know
Interesting.
why. I really don't know why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you and I on the money, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the differential?
It was
I don't want to think about it.
it was 42-10 to the 49ers.
Pretty big.
John, you said 37, 33, 49ers. I said 31-20. So we're all fairly.
Yeah, you were
off.
closest, 11.
You were closest.
I was slightly.
I was,
close,
what,
yeah.
3 to Dallas Field got to win it.
I think I was as well.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
A final,
Far out.
a final note on just the Niners, and just to add a bit more balance to the to the Cowboys rant. I had a look at the MVP odds this morning, and they have narrowed significantly. Brock Purdy now $7.50 as league MVP.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I mean, MVP thing's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, it's almost like the previous year MVP is almost like defending the title in a way. So Patrick Mahomes, despite the fact that in most metrics, Russell Wilson is actually performing better than Patrick Mahomes at quarterback so far this season, but still the league favorite, and he'll probably come good later in the year.
Ooh.
Russell
we
could
feel-
beat him on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't it?
Do we feel like? Would we feel like Brock Purdy
Top
as
5.
an MVP candidate?
Top 5.
Because the debate
QB.
is like, is he a system quarterback? Is it him, or is it what he's
Well,
surrounded
They have
with?
too many other good players, but if they go 17-0, which is a serious chance,
It is.
then it'll be hard for him not to. Like their schedule, they'll be favourite. They'll be favourite in Cleveland, but it's a early fixture. And then they'll start favourite in every game, with the possible exception of at Philadelphia for the rest of the season.
Yeah. God, that's going to be a good one to watch.
So, like, I think he's a big chance, definitely.
Yeah.
Who else is in the race? Like you
McCaffrey.
got, yeah,
Yeah.
Mahomes,
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Allen. I suppose he suffers from the same perception as Tua. Like, there's a lot of good players in the offense.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Moving on. Last game of the week.
Well, the last
Today's
game.
game?
Well, the last game of the week probably has no MVP candidates at all.
You sure?
Green Bay Packers at the Las Vegas Raiders. We all
Return of
kind
Devontae.
of thought it would be a stinker, and it was. It was Vegas outlasting the Packers.
This was a terrible.
God,
That
Jordan
was a bad game.
Jordan Love turned the ball over like 3 times.
Yeah.
Doing his
That was bad.
best Dak impersonation.
Yeah, exactly. Giving Dak a run for his money. So it was 17-13 to the Raiders, and it was Mitch and Evan who called it as such. 27-20 was Evan's prediction. Mitch, 27-24. John and I went with the Packers. Total points-wise, we're probably closer. You said 18-17 to the Packers. I said 17.
And I was looking at that thinking, you know, a
happen.
field goal and a safety, and they were there.
The way that game was going, it might have been
that.
possible to end it in such a way. as
Definitely,
well.
Yeah.
So
definitely
I was a touchdown off both teams, wasn't I? Because I had 24-20.
Yeah,
Well, whatever it is,
27.
Yeah.
whatever it is, you
There's been a
might
lot
be
of
doing a
safeties.
shot.
There's been a lot of safeties, by the way. You've had 2 safeties in back-to-back weeks.
And one's questionable. I'll admit that as a Jets fan.
Well,
But
it's a safety, it's a
the
safety.
last one was definitely a safety. Fuck you, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, there has been a lot of safeties, and there's been a lot of injuries this
A lot of bad
year.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, a lot of bad quarterbacks. True. So that puts us where at the end of this week?
End of this week, John tops the table 3 from 5, and the rest of the field 2 from 5.
Yes.
The ladder,
Yes.
boys, it is, I mean, tight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
John, 9 points. I'm on 9 points. Mitch is on 9 points. Evan's on 8 points.
It's a third there.
But from a differential perspective, John and I are tied on the same differential.
Oh, no
24
shit.
points
So
as
what
well.
did we do there?
Alphabetical, J for John, so it's fine. He's top of the ladder. It's fine.
Okay,
so,
I'll be
John,
top of the ladder.
Me, Mitch,
Count
Evan.
back of this week.
Okay,
yeah,
well, hang
most
on a
recent.
second. We're missing something, aren't we? And
Oh, yeah,
and
we
that
are
is a
missing
shot. Now, for the viewers at home, because it's the first time we're doing this season, I promise I won't explain it every fucking week. When a few people are tied at last on the leaderboard, we have an argument. We have, there's one judge. Sometimes there's a crew of jurors if there's only 2.
Well, there's 3 tied, though.
There's 3 tied. And what needs to happen is you've got 30 seconds on the clock to argue your case. I am going to set this up
Who's
properly.
going first, though?
I'll go first.
Well, I tell you what, I'm thinking of a number between 1 to 69, and whoever gets closest gets to go first.
69.
Number
No,
2.
it's a position, not a number.
It's for Zach Wilson. It's for shit.
23.
10 for Aaron Rodgers.
I said 69.
Oh, well, 7. So you can
Just
go.
fucking
You're
7.
second, and then you're last. I am going to get the clock. Where is the timer? Your time on the clock starts now.
As to one of the main hosts, I have a very simple claim. I got 2 out of 5. Only 2, shocking. But of those 2, my margin was spot on. So I got the exact same margin. I have no other differential.
That's not correct.
Yes,
That
it
is not correct
Yes,
at all.
it is.
Only in one game.
No.
27-20
Yeah.
Vegas over
The
Green Bay.
24-20 I had.
Not according to
24-20.
the, not according
Not according
to
to
the
the
Scribbler.
fact-
24-20 I had.
Look,
I have it
Evan,
on my
you've
phone.
got another 4 seconds to become
And
a
I
better.
think, I think
stop
Matt
lying.
threw me under the bus.
All right, I'm sorry, Evan. You've run out of time. I'll consider your claim, but it was 30
You're
seconds up. Okay, Mitch, let's go. You got your time on the clock starts now.
Well, unlike Evan, I did get closest to the pin in the Raiders-Packers, and it was the hardest of the games to predict because both teams absolutely stink. I was also coerced by Evan into picking the Cowboys
first.
over the 49ers through just generally looking at you and you being so impressed with my tipping. I was coerced.
You know
The
what?
rest of my tips stank.
This is great. You still got like 5 seconds.
Well, there's not much to say of positivity about the other 3, though.
All right, well, you're done now. And I am going to reset this. And Matthew, you get the last chance. Go for it, buddy.
Rather than absolving myself of responsibility, I'm just going to go out and say Mitch's claim of the Cowboys categorically winning just because on a gut feel is fucking ridiculous. He just has to have the shot based on. We don't do gut feels around here. That is bullshit.
Especially ones that are that bad.
So I don't care what I got, which ones I got right differentials. Mitch does the shot.
Oh, I see. Oh, he hasn't argued against himself doing it. He's argued for someone else. That's unique.
All right, well, I tell you what, that was the end of your argument. Now, I've got a little bit of mulling to do.
Because I think that he gets himself out.
I think he does too. Now,
but it's still a one-on-one debate.
see, this is my problem. This is
And
my
only one of
problem.
us lied.
This is that is true. That is true. This is a tough one, Matt. You're definitely not going to have to take the shot this week. That's for sure. I think it's going to have to come down to a game of trivia. A game of trivia.
God, Mitch is good.
Yeah, a game of trivia. Who are, and please name, and first person to do it wins, the 2 New York Jets quarterbacks who both tore their Achilles in week 1 to start an NFL season.
Aaron Rodgers and Mark Sanchez.
Testaverde.
Hey!
And it just Testaverde. He didn't say. He
Actually,
both.
you didn't say Aaron Rodgers. He's right.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he did it?
They split. They said one each. So another question.
No, I said Aaron Rodgers.
No, I said Aaron Rodgers first.
Well, we can't go back. I tell you what. Well,
I
this is
said
tough.
the two. You said the two.
That was a photo finish. Let's just ask
That was a
okay.
photo finish. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask a new question.
Mark Sanchez.
Name. What's the Mark Sanchez? All right. I got one more
Already
question.
asked.
2000. Who the fuck's Vinny Testaverde?
2003.
Vinny Testaverde. We would have won. We would have won the Super Bowl that year.
That was
no,
three.
it was 2001. After a very horrible Denver loss before in the AFC Championship game. I tell you what. I got one more question. This may be controversial. Name one player
Mitch has got this.
in the AFC.
That's his division.
And in the AFC, okay?
It's a conference.
My
And
bad.
I'm going to say this very quickly so we don't get picked up on YouTube's filters. Who got cut from the NFL because he knocked out a chicken in an elevator?
I don't know. Ray Rice.
Oh, you got it!
Very good.
All right, Mitch,
Yeah,
I'm
the
sorry,
Vikings.
buddy.
What about the bluff of I don't know?
Yeah, that froze you.
All right, I should read it again.
Blue
agave from the Highlands. Pick
You know what? I'm the
something.
only one not to take a shot at this. I'm going to take a shot anyway.
Pick
That was fun.
something.
No, it's fine. Next week.
Yeah, you can out of the hat.
Yeah.
Do a little one out of the hat.
All right, go take a shot out of the hat. Matt, what are you looking for? Are you looking for some...
Throw
I
it down the
think
field like
every
Rain
week-
Dakota Prescott.
I think every week we need a bit of a company music. Matt, have you got some? Let's do it, boys. I want you to cheers it in the middle to being shit at making picks. Fantastic. All right, boys. On that note,
My gullet is
get rid of that.
burning.
Oh, I'll
What
bet it is.
year was Ray Rice? That was the only guy that got it.
2014, I
Something
reckon.
like that. Yeah, post Super
See if we
Bowl.
can Google
man.
that, Ev.
All right, let's get into our game previews, and we're going to start with a London banger.
Talking about the Ravens and their good players.
Talking about the Ravens. Ravens at Titans, although that kind of doesn't count. I guess we're going to go around the room, and it starts with me because I'm top of the leaderboard. Then
Leader.
it'll go Matt, then it'll
Yep.
go you, then it'll go Evan. So in my case,
This is clockwise stuff.
This is yeah. Well, yeah. It depends on your. Oh, no, it is clockwise.
Yeah.
I am going to go.
Maybe if
Ravens.
it's digital.
Ravens 27 and Titans 13. I've got the Ravens winning big here despite being away from home because the Titans are also away from home. And to be completely frank, Tennessee is further from London town than Baltimore is. So
That's extremely good geography for me.
it is. Well, unlike Americans, we get this stuff right.
Miles.
No, Americans know where American stuff is. That is
Miles.
I don't know where London
No,
is.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, like I said, Ravens 27 and Titans 13. Matthew?
Yeah, Ravens have been a little hot and cold, but I'm still backing them to win 21-17, both on the road, but they are technically on the road. Titans a bit disappointing for me this week, and Ravens need to reassert their dominance in their division. Can't believe it's been led by the Steelers. Has to be the worst division leader in the entire league at the moment, I'd say. So Ravens 21-17.
And Tampa are leading too. But yeah, the Steelers probably are worse than Tampa. Matt went really good at this last week and considerably better than me, so I'm going to copy Baltimore 20 and Tennessee 17. Low scorer. Most of the London games have been pretty low scoring. I'll go 20-17 Ravens.
And on the London claim, there's a lot of field goals that happen in London. So I'm going to say Justin Tugger finally pulls his finger out of his ass and gets some fantasy points.
I reckon you kick one in London with it in there.
20 points to 10 Ravens. 20-10.
20-10 Ravens. Okay, let's get into the next game. We have got the Colts playing at the Jags. The Jags finally return home from their second home in London. And guys, Richardson's probably not playing. I do believe in Gardner Minshew. However, that being said, Jags 41, Colts 22. I just think they put on more points than what the Colts can put up each week, and that's what I reckon. Jags 41, absolute hosing. Colts 22. The Jags are going to ride that confidence from the Bills game. I think a lot of people, including you three, wrote them off and said that they wouldn't beat the Bills, and they did. And I think that's a big confidence-boosting game. So I got the Jags winning big.
Yeah, I got the Jags winning as well.
But
24-21.
tight.
I like the Colts, man. Like, I think they'll hang in there. Like I said before, Shane Steichen's doing an incredible job. They have Jonathan Taylor back, although limited touches of the ball. So I think his production will probably
Moss
increase.
looked good anyway.
Yeah, it looks good, but he'll probably increase his workload. Minshew's been serviceable, but yeah, I think the Jags edged them out 24-21.
Interesting side note: the Jags 3-0 away from Duval County this year, 0-2 at home.
Oh,
Fewer
Right.
Road Warriors.
Yeah, they got beaten in by Kansas City in week 2, and then absolutely
hard
hosed by Houston, which has really tainted probably. They were the big spruik team before the season, but that
True.
If that Houston loss hadn't have occurred, like they'd be viewed a lot more favourably by the market. I think they win this, and they win it pretty easily.
Yep.
They've already beaten the Colts once, and I'll go Jags 31, Colts 20.
Salmon on your argument, Jags just going to be too strong. 24-13.
24-13. Okay, you guys think it's going to be tighter than me. I reckon the Jags will wipe them. Then we've... What?
Yeah,
Mitch had 11-point margin.
yeah,
Well,
we're
11
all
points still quite...
yeah.
It's quite big. I mean, it's not...
19's huge. Yeah, you don't see
Yeah,
too many
that's a good
19s.
Yeah. No, you don't. Now I'm rethinking it, but I won't. Seahawks at Bengals. Guys, you're going to find this interesting. I think it's going to be a low scorer. I know that the Bengals looked good again, but that being said, Seahawks 16, Bengals 13 in a game that goes to overtime that's won on a field goal. And I also do believe that Jamal Adams won't start again.
Jason Myers will start at strong safety.
I think anyone's starting at strong safety at this point. Legion of fucking cracked legs.
What do you reckon, Matt?
He's so shit. Can't stay on the field.
You don't have to bring him up every fucking week, man. Come on.
2 first-round picks.
I don't like him either. I like him less than you do. So you have to remind me of the god-awful trade. We've made up for it. Seahawks win 27-17. Off the bye week for the Hawks, even though we are going into Cincinnati for this one.
Yeah.
I've got a 10-point margin here, just based on the rest. That's it.
Yeah. What about you, Mitcho?
Yeah, similar reasoning. I think it's typically quite hard for West Coast teams to win in the early window on the East Coast, but Seattle are really physical and Cincinnati aren't, and I think that's the way to get at them this year. The Arizona win doesn't fool me. Seattle 26, Cincinnati 20.
Yeah, right. Evan?
I'm going to change my pick. You guys are boring. Let's spice it up. Bengals are going to do it. Jamar Chase is going to get 2 touchdowns, 24-21.
Wow.
Thanks, Evan.
It is incredible.
No one really wants to hear all of us agreeing. Let's change it up.
No, they don't want to hear us agreeing, but what is really interesting is that we are so sour on the Bengals because at the start of the season, none of us would have felt this way about this game.
No.
And I know the Seahawks are looking pretty good, but, I don't know.
Yeah, although I did pick the Seahawks to make the NFC Championship game. So
You did.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
I
true.
thought you had Lions and Eagles.
No, I had Seahawks and Eagles.
Wow,
Yeah.
that would be fun.
And I still think it's a chance, despite how well San Fran are playing right now.
True. Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about Saints at Texans.
Would we have spoken about this 4 weeks ago? Probably not.
Well, it depends. If we thought it was going to be a tight, sometimes we throw a stinker in just to keep things interesting. But look, I've got the Saints slightly edging the Texans on this one. I think this is actually going to be a better game than what you would think on paper 4 weeks ago. Saints 27, Texans 23. CJ Stroud still does not throw an interception.
Yeah, I'd probably rather watch Texas versus LSU college-wise, but
Yeah.
I'm going the Saints. Sorry, Matt, I jumped in.
You can go. Continue.
I'm going the Saints. Tight one, last possession wins, and just because I want to say Blake Grouper, I'll go Saints 27-24.
Very good. Matthew?
No real confidence.
Yeah, despite Texans losing this week, CJ Stroud, didn't throw a pick, and he otherwise looked incredible. He did everything that he could to win that game, and it was a last possession win type game. And I think this will be a similar situation, except this time the Texans will win 31-24 at home.
Touchdown drive to CJ Stroud.
Wouldn't
Or
that
an
be fun?
intercept thrown by Derek Carr.
Oh, yeah. Pick
Could
six.
be
Yeah,
that.
the walk-off pick six. That's right.
Could be that. Evan?
I just feel like this is going to be a stinker game. Just a lot of 3-and-outs, sort of struggle possessions. I think Saints win it by a field goal, 17-14.
Interesting.
I could see a game like that in this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. The Texans.
Like the Texans game last week was just down to the wire, and they lost by field goal.
They're pretty uncompetitive a lot of last year, but they've come a long way quickly.
Yeah.
Texans have scored, I think most of their games have scored over 20 points, maybe except for one. And the Saints have barely gotten out of the teens, with the exception of this week against
The Patriots, who have only scored 20 once against Philadelphia. Of all teams.
Yeah.
Still lost.
But that's good defense, though. But, now without Judon
You're getting-
and
and
Christian.
And he's gone for the season, and surely Judon doesn't play again this year.
Yeah, I don't think he will. He's out indefinitely. Let's talk Lions at Bucks. I think this will be the highest scoring game of the week. I have got man, I just love this Lions team. Is it Dan Campbell? Is it Jared Goff's renaissance? Whatever it is, it's not Jamar Gibbs. But I have got the Lions 45, the Bucks 38. Bucks are actually looking pretty good with the Baker baking, but I think the Lions are just offensively, they're just too strong. And Lions 45, Bucks 38. I think it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I think Lions too. I don't know where Baker's going to find that many points. Although I think it'll.
With Mike Evans,
Oh yeah.
Godwin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
That is true.
31-21 Lions.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I think Lions by 1 to 2 scores. I'm going Lions 28, Tampa 20.
Are you going to use my strategy, Evan, and be the contrarian and see if that works?
Maybe for the last game, I got the Lions 31-23.
31-23. Fair enough. Speaking of that last game,
Before we go into the Monday night game,
Okay.
the Sunday night game is disgusting. Couldn't they have flexed this 3 weeks ago? Bills versus Giants.
they don't flex until week
Week 8.
week. Yeah,
No,
it's
they
after week
flexed
8.
the Lions game
Why
this
would you
week.
flex Josh Allen
What do you mean?
against a new
They
team
flexed
in
from the
New
1
York
o'clock to 4 o'clock slot.
That's not a flex. That's different. No, flex is only if you're going into a primetime spot, and they can only do
okay.
that halfway through the season.
And who would you flex it to? With like,
Any other game.
it's the New York TV market against Josh Allen.
Yeah, exactly. That's two huge markets. Makes sense commercially. Let's talk about a game that is happening on Monday night.
Ready for some football.
yeah.
Some interceptions from Dak.
Cowboys Chargers and
Charges.
the Chargers.
The Chargers that unlocked the Lightning, they're charging.
Oh,
matter.
yeah. We need to make that correction.
There's no correction to be made. It's a lightning bolt as the logo. What does that imply? That they're charging?
It's electricity.
What are we talking about? An EV? Like, is this a fucking Tesla power pack? No.
It's one of those Chinese ones that's heaps cheaper and got high
Trips all the time.
Trips, BYD, whatever it is.
Yeah, build your dreams. Shout out to Build Your Dreams. Interesting cars made of plastic.
Sponsor us. Cunts.
Yes, they definitely will after that glaring fucking resounding support, show of support. Chargers 21, Cowboys 20. I think the skid continues. I think they're a little bit shocked and shattered. And what we talked about a couple of weeks ago with, there maybe being one game difference between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know if I can see that now. So yeah, Chargers 21, Cowboys 20, and I think that Jerry has a conniption and Brandon Staley keeps his job for just a little bit longer.
So similar, yet so different. 1 score game for me as well. No field goals. 4 touchdowns. It'll be Cowboys 28, the Chargers 27, and instead of going for the PAT, in the typical Brandon Staley fashion, will go for 2 points and fail to convert
Let's try and win the game.
and lose 28-27.
Could be.
Not even close for this one. The Chargers will win easily. I'm going Chargers 38, Dallas 21. I think they boat race them, show them elite quarterback play, and Dallas are Dallas are
No,
struggling.
I need that. I got Herb as my fantasy QB. I need that.
Dallas
to
are
win.
struggling. Like they've beaten New England and the Giants, who possibly are the two worst teams in football, and the Jets the first week without Rodgers in full. They were beaten easily in Arizona. They were hammered. They're back on the West Coast. Chargers off a bye. Kellen Moore
Coming back.
good night. I think the Chargers win easy.
Yeah, I feel it.
I'd deal with stats. Dak Prescott's only lost one back-to-back career game. It's not going to be this one against Brendan Staley. It's going to be a field goal fest, 19-17
Field
Dallas.
goal fest.
19-17. Wow. 17 and a safety, or
one field goal for the Chargers, but four field goals from Dallas.
Controlling
You have to
possession.
give Chargers offense more credit than that. How can that
Two
be?
touchdowns.
We had 2 touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
well, we'll see. On that note, let's let's review something that's obviously working extremely well, judging by the sentiment from the man across from me. Mitch's multi. It's time for Mitch's multi.
An unfortunate 2 for 3 this week.
Thanks, Commies.
Yeah, the commies at least.
Fucked us at the very start.
Yeah, you're always worried when the commie breaks early into proceedings. They never look likely. They're flogged. The Lions and the Eagles won pretty easily, but you're down already and just cheering the last 2 for fun. Brings us to 1 for 3. Still in front for the year, I think, aren't we, Matt?
We're still in front.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. And
Yeah.
we'll get further in front. I'm going just a 2-leg
Damn.
against the spread here. I am on the Dolphins,
Yep.
giving away a absolutely massive 13.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of points,
Yep.
but their offense is absolutely phenomenal. And I think they'll cover that easily against the Panthers, who will probably struggle to get past 10 themselves. And unfortunately, Johnny, I'm rolling it into the Eagles, albeit away from home, only giving up 6.5 to the Jets.
That's fair.
And their pass rush could get home a few times, and they're just loaded across the board.
That is fair.
I don't think that they'll tear the Jets apart offensively themselves, but I can see this just being a 28-10, 28-12 game.
$3.60 power pass. As we say, what are we gambling with? That's still with our winnings. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately,
It
won't
is.
be if this one goes down. I don't think. But
that'll be the end of the
it'll be-
winnings.
if this wins, we'll be doing that, saying that for
Yeah.
another month. So
And is that another
Yeah.
$50 stake? We have 75 in the kitty.
Oh, we can still lose it
yeah.
this week and still be in the winnings.
Right. Should we just bet it all?
Yeah, we
Ah.
should. We
Yeah.
should. We should put 75 on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this week we're putting
All
75.
right,
All right.
75. Here we
All
go.
right. All right. Yeah. Well, you're pretty hopeful.
Riding the Alabama 2017 quarterback room home. Tua and Jalen, do it, boys.
Do it, boys, indeed. And that takes us to our fantasy SKs and SKs. Now, for people watching at home, yes, SK is an acronym. No, I'm not allowed to say it anymore. YouTube spanked us in our last episode
Yeah.
again.
Oh, no.
I copped an
Sick is
infringement.
sick.
Sick, and then I'm
What
going
are
to
they
spell
called?
it for you. It's
Shizen.
Kunt, much
Zed.
like Jets player Kuntz.
Oh, yeah.
But it's pronounced a little bit differently, and what we pick is a good Kuntz and a bad Kuntz, because we're a bunch of Kuntz.
I think
and,
I'm censored for BYD. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, probably. We'll see what spanks us this week, but we did cop it last week. Anyway, trying not to get shadow banned before the end of the season. We'll see what happens. But let's get into our SKs and SKs.
Well,
so,
before we do, let's see our reviews.
well, this is part of getting into the SKs and SKs. Take it over for me, Matty boy.
Oh God.
Oh, God, indeed.
Rate 'em all.
Oh, God, indeed. The way we're going to go about this is top to bottom on aggregate, basically good and bad. And this week, John takes the cake and basically buoyed by the Brees Hall call.
Yeah.
Getting
Oh, yeah, true.
31.4 points, 133% above expected of 13.4.
Breeze the Beast! ACL what?
Feed him.
ACL what?
Feed him.
Feed him.
He's a bad SK of Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, well, you know.
Not awful. Not awful. He was projected to get 19. He got 24.2.
Okay.
So not
That's
awful.
interesting.
So on aggregate, not bad at all. Second place goes to Evan
Not bad.
because of his
Back-to-back
call
Cowboys
to
players.
short Tony Pollard. He was projected to get 16.2 to only managed an 8.4, so
Not bad.
half of his expected points. Didn't go as well with the good SK, Jake
No.
Ferguson, not meeting his projection of 7.57. In fact, he got a 5.8.
He got 2 catches.
Not meeting his projection of fucking 7.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Not much better on my part. I was backing Zachary Ertz to find the end zone, which I was correct. He did find the end zone, but that's all he really did in the match. He got 9 on a 9.44 projection. So
Neutral. It's not bad. It's not
five,
too bad.
just a slight 5% undercooked there. Not proud, as I said at the top, of selling Puka Nakua. Projected to get 18.25. He managed a 20.1, despite the fact that Cooper Kupp got more receptions, not almost doubled his yards, but way more yards than he did. But he found the end zone.
Not
It
bad.
helped him out a bit.
And then finally,
Leaves us with Mitchell.
Just like in fantasy, rock bottom.
Yeah,
I'm not on the bottom
Not
of
this
the
week.
anymore.
Look.
I'm ahead of Matt now.
That's
Oh,
true.
the head-to-head.
On head-to-head. That's right.
record.
Head-to-head.
Have you only got 1 win?
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
win.
he's
Fucking
only got one win.
Tyreek prick.
I've got one against him.
Darren Waller's projection. It's Darren Waller as an apparent bad SK.
What about he hasn't touched the ball for a month, and then he gets 12 targets, catches 8 for 86. Come on.
Yeah, so he almost doubled his projection of 9, hitting 16.6. I'm not going to ride you too much on your good SK of Brian Robinson because
They had to just throw
Look.
straight away.
because the commies were playing against the Bears, and as we've mentioned already, I picked I have DJ Moore. I drafted DJ Moore and I benched him.
Yeah.
Very
54
clear.
fucking points on the bench. So
And they had to
That's-
throw straight away. Like they conceded 17 points in the first quarter.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I
Crazy.
would ride you. So yeah, he didn't quite meet his projection of 13.29, only got 8.3. But that is our SK reviews for this week.
Excellent.
Not great, but let's
do
redeem
it.
ourselves, guys.
Well-
Let's get into it for this week.
And what we
Our
should do is,
predictions.
based on how we were positioned, we're not going to count this as like a leaderboard every week, but based on that, that's how we'll decide our SKs. So I guess that puts me first. I'm going to start with a good SK, and I know this guy has hands like rocks, but I'm going to go with Kadarius Toney.
Oh,
Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, Super Bowl champion.
Giants, great.
Kadarius Toney, I think.
what's his projection? Do you know?
I don't know his projection, but whatever it
I'll get
is,
it up
it's
now.
going to be better. You will?
I'll get it up now.
Fantastic. Can you show me?
I will. Let's go. Tones
I
and
don't
I.
think you got it. Yeah, Kadarius Toney. I think he's going to have a good week this week. Let's see. What do we got?
Projected to get 10.63.
Yeah, because they're playing Denver, and Denver fucking suck. So like that defense is just
Are
ridiculous.
you going to do your
so-
good and bad, or we're just going to do all
No,
the
no,
good
no,
and all
no,
the
no. We'll go around the table and go the good ones, and then we'll go around the table and
You're
do
up,
the
Ev.
bad ones.
Sorry, John. Just to put another nail there, I'm going to go with Dallas, formerly Dallas Gollard from last year, to Dallas Goated. Tight end for Philly, obviously, versing the 32nd ranked defense with tight ends.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Eagles have never lost to New York, so yeah, I reckon he's going to have another monster game coming off nearly 12 targets, 10 catches. So yeah, Dallas go to project to
Fair.
get 10.04 only.
Yeah, well, I think you'll probably beat that.
It's been a while since we've heard this man's name. C.D. Lamb.
The compact disc.
The compact disc.
Le compact
As my
disc.
good SK, he had
in
an
the field
awful.
goal first.
He had an awful
El
week.
Compacto Disco.
Look, I said the Cowboys are going to win in a 4-touchdown game. I think he gets 2 out of those 4 touchdowns this week. He's only projected to get 15.63. He gets into the 20s. C.D. Lamb.
Hopefully.
C.D. Lamb.
I
Mitchell.
ain't falling for this for high numbers and percentage issues. This is a classic. This is a classic buy the lowest of the low. With Mitch's Moldy, we're rolling the 2017 Tide quarterbacks. We're running. Is it 2021 again? A 4.32 projection to
What?
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
4.32. Just get 6, JT. Just get 6.
You know what? That's really smart. Why did none of us think of that?
Divisional game against the Jags. They'll be trying to keep the ball out of Lawrence's hands.
JT.
He got
Four points in the
4.4
game.
last week.
Sorry.
He got 4.4 last week.
Yeah,
that was
that's
his
his
first
only
game back.
Yeah, that's why the projection's 4.32. I think.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
smart.
sample.
That is very, very smart. Okay, let's get into our bad SKs, and I am going to go a very, very popular name here, fellas. Evan, crank this one up for me and tell me how many points this bloke is going to get, because I am going for number 17 in the All Black. I don't think Jimmy G
19.29.
get him the ball, baby. I have got Devontae Adams because
19.29.
Yeah, 19.29 because they're playing they're playing an okay defense over in New England.
What do you
They
reckon?
conceded 69 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but
34 of them were to Derek Carr last week.
Yeah, I know that, but a lot of that has to do with short field and Mac Jones.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't imply that Devontae Adams is going to have a good game.
Yeah, the Patriots are going to try and win this like 11-7.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about that.
exactly right. And
Yeah.
I think this is it. Like this is,
Heavy dose of Ramondre Stevenson.
Not only that, this is going to be like Bill Belichick's fucking hot girl summer. Like he needs to just go back in there and
Sony Michel a free agent?
he is, isn't he?
Yeah. No, he'll turn up.
Yeah, there was the other guy too. Who was the guy who played for the Rams? Was that Sonny Michel?
Yeah,
Sonny Michel.
Yeah.
He was on the Rams.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I think Devontae Adams. I know that they're letting in a lot of points. That's short field stuff. I don't think Devontae has a great game.
Unless you mean
against
Todd
them.
Gurley. Todd Gurley.
Did he play for the Patriots?
No, he just played for the Rams.
Yeah, and then Falcons, and that was where it
Yeah, he
went
did play for
really bad. Anyway, Devontae Adams is my pick. I don't think he gets close to 19.
For Evan's philosophy of the SK, sticking with the same game, the bad SK, one game wonder Breece Hall. Projected to get 13.41. He's versing the third best running defense. Philly's D will just come after Wilson. He'll try and pass it. He'll try and run it. They'll go nowhere. I think I'll be surprised if the Jets score more than 7 points.
Hang on.
Interesting.
Is this because Philly have an easy schedule or because they're actually good?
No, because of he's getting me. You're naughty. Jets.
What is it, 20 straight regular season games with Hurts starting or something?
Yeah, Jets. I'm still riding on facts here. Jets have never beaten Eagles. They still won't. Yeah.
But you know that we can lose like 41-42, right?
You can, but it won't. Where are you going to score 40 points against Philly?
Who knows?
They have a great
Mitch's Moldy
defense.
knows.
Who knows? Where was Arizona going to score how many on fucking Dallas?
Yeah, but still.
But still, that's
Where's
Dallas.
this game getting played at? Is it in New York?
I don't know.
Philly are better than Dallas.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Thank
how many
God
Super
for
Bowls
that.
do they have? I'll win that argument, fuckers.
Yeah, 2. How many have you seen, Dallas?
How did Philly have 2
Oh, yeah, there's
Super
no
Bowls?
doubt
They've
that
won.
Dallas have historically
won.
been a better
Won.
performing franchise.
Philly only has 1?
Yeah, they're 1 year wonders. I told you.
Yeah, they only have 1, yeah.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
They'll have another one this year, and
No,
you'll have
they
to
won't.
watch that. That's all right. Let's move on from you. Shut the fuck up now.
I
Who is
can't believe I'm going to short this player 2 weeks removed from Mitch attempted to do the same thing.
Come on.
No.
Oh, it's DJ Moore. Is it DJ Moore?
I'd never short DJ Moore.
It is
We had DJ as a good SK 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
When I shorted McCaffrey, I had them too.
we were a week too early.
Fuck it.
I'm going with CMC. Projected to get 17.81. Only indeed, because he is up against the second best running defense in the Cleveland Browns. And the 49ers have so many other weapons. They are using the same rationale as Mitch right now. Like, they're not going to take all the offense.
He scored in
through
13
CMC.
straight games, though.
He has scored in 13 straight games, but I just can't see. His production was actually lowered this week, so he wasn't as active, and I think that trend continues. Purdy through the air. CMC might get a touchdown, but yeah.
So it's 4 a.m. our time. By 5 a.m., he's probably already hit 20 points.
Fuck.
That'll be fun.
CMC.
CMC. Like the routing, I think he's just going to get in there.
Yeah, I'm in the same game, but I'm not going against San Francisco. I'll be going for them. Amari Cooper, 13.61 projection, significantly under there. Cleveland will really struggle to move the ball, particularly in the air. No one can pass on San Francisco at the moment.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Yeah, and so Cleveland have won games this year, but off defense and short field. So it'll be, if they can force some mistakes out in a low-scoring game, is their only path to victory. Mine, Amari struggles, 13.6. No thanks, son.
Could be. I think you've actually got two really corker picks, and I wish I thought of them myself.
The 4.32 for JT. That's nearly
That's-
cheating.
that is-
Surely he gets 5.5.
God, imagine if he gets 3.
I'll be fuming. That's like a full
6 snaps.
33% under projection. That's real bad. Yeah. He's only got to reach. Come on, JT.
30
Just
yards.
get 40,
40 yards.
43
Or,
yards.
or even 2 catches.
Yeah. Something. Just anything.
Yeah. Oh, well, guys, guess what? It's starting to get smelly in here. We're at the pointy end of this, and as always, as it starts to stink up, we got garbage time! Garbage time with Evan. Evan brings us a question every week, and this week, Evan, what have you got to ask the boys?
So at the end of this week, we'll be nearly a third down of the NFL season. So at this stage,
Far out.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I know.
What are you going to fucking do?
So going off. Let it stop. Let it stop.
It's true.
As we're going through, teams are probably thinking about next year, who they're going to re-sign, who they're not. I'm looking at the biggest thing, the draft. Now, I've got 2 sort of questions. So one is, what trade capital or package you reckon a team can get for Caleb Williams or have to trade up for? So a scenario here: Chicago stick with Fields. They have the first pick. What do you reckon someone has to give Chicago to get that pick?
3 firsts. It's pretty much been standard always.
Boys?
Unless you're trading up from like 2nd or 3rd overall to get the first.
yeah, it depends who's the
But
partner.
it depends. So here's a question. A better question might be, how far do you think someone's going to have to go? Because you know, if you've got so hypothetical, if you got Bears first, they're going to keep Fields. You got Carolina second,
And
they're
they
going to
have
keep
that.
Rice, and that could be the case this year. Then
No,
what?
Carolina don't have a pick. That's
Don't
the
they?
Bears pick.
That is the Bears pick.
Yeah.
That's
The
Bears
right.
That's what I'm saying. The-
Bears right now have the
The first and the
Yes.
second.
No,
Oh my-
no,
No,
Not the
because they
second.
won last week.
They won last week.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'd keep losing if I were them.
They got the first and the 6th.
First and
But
6th,
I
they need to
don't
lose
think
more
they'll
games.
be 6 off the bottom for too long. I think they'll probably end up
Yeah.
having the first and second
And I'm
overall.
thinking at the moment, the hope I have is Patriots are 4th, and they're 3 ahead of them are the Bryce Young, the Russell Wilson contract, and the Kyler Murray contract.
True, but they might still have to jump up because you might have a mid-round team that's just going to top
Yeah,
over everyone.
yeah.
That's where you see 3 firsts.
Yeah, Minnesota
typically.
at 6. And,
Yeah. I mean, the Jets traded 2 firsts and a second to be in position to draft Mark Sanchez, and that was a jump from like 16 to 6 or 16 to 5 or something like that. So you know, it takes capital to make a big leap.
But the main storyline at the bottom of this will be draft day stories. What's the worst trade up we've seen? There's 2 obviously that come to mind: Trey Lance and Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams, that's interesting.
You traded your whole draft for one player.
It's the crazy thing is that the Trey Lance things had virtually no effect on San Francisco.
Yeah.
I know, isn't that
Unbelievable.
nuts?
Like,
Yeah.
just incredible ability business-wise to make a mistake, pivot straight away.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of luck in there. If they didn't have Purdy and they weren't going as well as they are, I mean, John Lynch
They made the
would
Super Bowl.
be looked at very differently. There is luck.
They made the Super Bowl drop. Was that
Yeah,
the
but that was before Lance, and then
Oh, just
they
before
made the
Lance,
NFC Championship game with Garoppolo 2 years ago, and they made the NFC Championship game last year with a combination of Garoppolo and Purdy.
And whoever their 4th string was.
They didn't play until that actual game, though. I don't think.
Yeah, that was his.
I got a question. Do you think that Kyle Shanahan could fix Mac Jones?
Tough. He apparently wanted to draft him. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I do. I think he's shown enough with so many different, like every quarterback he's coached is significantly better under him.
Yeah.
And he was a decent college player that had a decent first year in the NFL.
So what do you trade for Kyle Shanahan?
Like to be
Well,
the Patriots coach.
I mean, think about it. Like the Broncos traded a pick for Sean Payton, right? And then signed him to a 5-year, $100 million stinker of a fucking contract.
when Belichick
at
left
New
the
England.
Jets, did you get anything from the Patriots?
Yeah, we
I'd
did
trade
in the second
consecutive.
round.
I'd trade consecutive year first round picks for Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, and
100%.
send Billy as well, or make him the defensive coordinator.
Bill
make him
O'Brien.
Belichick.
Oh, Bill.
Could you imagine?
We went back to
him
DC.
having- you know what? You guys would be good, but could you imagine him having
Well, I
to
don't
answer
know.
to
69 points in the last 2 weeks.
again short field? If there was no short field,
Yeah.
Reason I ask is because, like, as soon as Dallas lose any game, you read the comments and all the haters straight on Dak.
How can they shift the contract?
Well, there's another 2 years of Dak. It's this year, and then next year it's a big $50 million hit. Now, would Chicago accept a number 1 pick for Dak plus another number 1 pick?
Like, as in
So we can
Chicago get Prescott.
And a pick plus so we can get Caleb.
I wouldn't.
To me, if they can, depending on how close they consider themselves to Detroit in the division, probably dictates the answer.
Yeah.
Because you got to, if you're trading for an active player that's a little bit above average, but there's probably no better tomorrows than like with Dak, like he's as good as he's ever going to get. You're wanting nearly a surefire. Like, he's got to be the difference between you winning the division and not.
Yeah, and the problem is
He's not going to win a Super Bowl, but he can win you a division.
Yeah, he's
but
already proven that.
He can't if he's not behind a good offensive line. You guys have got a good offensive line, and he's still got problems.
No, our offensive line hasn't been as good. Like Zach,
Yeah, but it hasn't been as bad. Even now with the injuries, it's nowhere near as bad as what you see in
the
Chicago.
Bears, Arizona.
The Bears is horrible. So you put
Cincinnati before they helped Joe Burrow out.
Yeah. So the question is, if you put him behind like a really shitty line, what are you really gambling with?
Well, they drafted the O-line at the same time, though, which is why Joe Burrow tore his ACL in the first year, running for his life. But then they drafted the wideouts in the same draft the year after. They already had a bell cow running back, but yeah, Cincinnati have done an amazing job in the draft.
Butterfly effects of that. Imagine Dallas didn't go with Zach Martin to help out Romo, and they selected a certain quarterback, which was, come on, Johnny Football.
Oh, right.
They made the right decision.
Jerry Jones wanted him.
You know what? He would have played well there.
No, he wouldn't have. He would have reacted quite poorly off the field to being the famed
Dallas
star quarterback.
Wasn't he meant to be bigger and more famous than LeBron?
James, yeah. How's that, Skip Bayless?
Skip Bayless?
No one wants to work with him now. Who's on? It's Richard Sherman. Skip, some other no names, whatever they are.
What was his show? Undisputed.
Undisputed.
I think it's Undisputed.
Lil Wayne's on it as well.
What?
He got Lil Wayne as one of his talkers.
On what?
On Undisputed.
I haven't,
because he sings the intro. He also got him as a talker.
It's funny, but like I don't think we've seen a divide like this early in the NFL. There's only about 5 teams that can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, can you get up the Super Bowl
It's pretty
odds?
thin, and it
Get the
was
Super Bowl odds up.
It's the same group last year, excluding the Bengals, and it looks to be the same group next year, unless Aaron Rodgers comes back from his
I'll get
Achilles.
her, man. I'll get her.
You got it?
Yep. Yeah, like you said, like there should be only like 5 or 6 teams that can win the Super Bowl that you realistically think they can.
There are only 5 or 6, and then on the bubble, the teams that are on the way up, like Jacksonville and Detroit. But
who would have thought this? The Niners are favourites for the Super Bowl.
How much?
Clear-cut favourite.
$5.50. You got the Chiefs at 6, the Eagles at 7, Buffalo and Miami at 11, and somehow Dallas are the
What are the Jets?
there, $12.
What are the Jets?
The Jets are down the list. I have to keep scrolling. 126-1,
I'm
just
putting
above the
$100 on that.
Patriots.
I'd be astonished if the winner came from someone that wasn't Eagles, Niners, or Chiefs. I'd be astonished if one of those 3 didn't win.
You reckon? You reckon Bills and Dolphins don't get past the Chiefs?
I doubt that. I doubt that the Dolphins can win multiple games in winter conditions. But if they get the 1 seed, there'd be a chance. And Buffalo have just shown like they've struggled at that point multiple years in a row.
Like you said, they have their 2 or 3 game stretch, and they always have a game or 2 they just or Josh Allen struggles with.
I think those 2 teams' best looks better than the Chiefs' best on what's been exposed this year. But the Chiefs have Mahomes in the playoffs.
Hey, Chiefs are 3-0 as Swifties. We're forgetting that fact.
And it wouldn't surprise me if someone came from nowhere to win the AFC, but
Yeah.
like that's why I thought the Jets were a contender at the start of the year.
Baltimore, the 4th favourites.
Yeah, even Jacksonville, like a team that wins a
That'll be
division. But the winner of the Super Bowl will be 49ers.
Jacksonville winner, they take week 1 to London to celebrate.
Philadelphia or San Francisco will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Back to your garbage time question.
By a minimum of 20 points.
Back to your garbage time question. I'm looking at the 2024 draft, refreshing my memory of how many just draft picks and trades and whatnot. So Cardinals have a couple of first rounders.
Oh,
and
they
probably have
do.
a need to trade up. So if we're talking about who would trade up, they could probably have 2 20 24 first-round picks.
Who'd
a
they get
second
it
round,
from?
Texans.
Oh, Texans. Yeah,
In an
true.
exchange for trading up in this one to
Yes.
get Will Anderson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
They did, yeah, the 3 seed wasn't. Three.
Although I think at present, if I would pick any team
Vikings,
that trade
I
up, would
reckon.
be the Vikings to trade away their first round, second round 2024, and maybe like a 2025 first round as well.
Nah,
they have weapons
I tell you why I don't think that's the case. Because yes, they've had a really tough schedule to start the year, but I still think they're going to finish like 8-8, and 8-8's not a thing anymore. Like
8 and
9-8, maybe like 10-7. I still think that's where they're going to end up, and the collateral is going to be way more than a first and a second to jump up. It's going to be like 3 firsts.
Talk about teams that are shit. They'll have an early pick. Giants. Where do you go?
Back to Daniel Jones.
Moving off that contract is expensive.
It's going to be really difficult. This is the problem.
You go to the offensive line.
Yeah, exactly
receiver.
right.
They
They
Exactly
have to
right.
draft an O-line.
Yeah, exactly right. I think this is a weird. It's a weird time to draft a quarterback in the NFL next year because
With
you've
everything
got
that's happened with
so
Purdy and all that.
many, but just not but more just like you've got so many
Good ones.
really strong contracts that you can't get
Yeah,
out of.
yeah,
So
there's
the Dak effect. Dak, you can't move on from Dak.
Jones.
You can't move on from Daniel Jones. If Lamar shit himself, you can't move on from Lamar. Cleveland can't move on from Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Wilson's. Denver can't move on from Wilson.
Murray.
Yeah, exactly right. Arizona can't move on from Kyler Murray. Like I just counted. That was 8. 8 teams that could be in contention for the first overall pick, or at least like a top 10 to try and make a play for a quarterback. I think it's going to be really difficult for them to jump up to try
That was
and
probably in the easier
enter the
position.
sweepstakes.
Dak only has another year after this, and that's it. Even
Yeah,
even though it's backloaded, they're probably the easiest guy to move off.
you've got cap ramifications here. You've got to watch out for. It's
52
just,
million, take it.
Even then, if you were to look
Trey
at
Lance.
this is the thing.
We want
right?
Trey. We want Trey.
So if the Jets were in position to draft the quarterback because it went that pear-shaped, we want to put a new person behind, Aaron Rodgers, we've still got to think about the fact that it would be very difficult to move on from Zach Wilson's. These rookie contracts are really binding. Justin Fields, probably the same thing. How do you move on from that as a rookie contract? It's actually very, very difficult. And then, if you're Tennessee, do you give up on Will Levis that fast?
Probably do. Yeah.
So many of the bad teams, like the really bad teams, drafted a quarterback a year ago.
Yeah, exactly right. So C.J. Stroud went, and Bryce Young went, and
Just
Anthony Richardson went.
Yeah, I
and-
mean Tennessee aren't that bad a team, but we just talked about
Yeah.
Levis. I think there's only 5 or 6 teams that are in the market where you could go. They've seen 30 to 50 games of a quarterback. It's not working. They need to
Yeah.
refresh and. You only fully hit reset, I think, when you're the clear 3rd and 4th team in your division in the NFL.
Yeah, true.
And Minnesota, that last sentence is probably where they might not be because Green Bay and Chicago are kind of resetting as well. Like Detroit are obviously better than them, but like a team like the Patriots, like they're considerably worse. And the Jets made it clear they're all in on a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just injured. Like their squad is considerably better. Like I don't know. I think the group before was probably a bit harsh on Lamar to include him in that group. But
Oh no, but I think I was just
But,
more or less
yeah.
trying to say. I mean, Lamar. The worry there is not the play; it's the injury history. So
Yeah.
is that going to happen again? And
it's a bit. I think it's a little bit overblown.
Talking about a historic franchise that could move off a QB if they don't like him, Packers.
Yeah,
well,
just
but
have
Jordan
they
Love, they
seen
just
enough, though?
re-signed him.
Yeah, I don't know
they
whether
just
you've
re-signed
seen
him.
enough.
Oh,
Not
fuck.
like
I thought he was still on his last.
No,
years.
they re-signed him. He was done. That was it.
Oh, wow.
They,
He
they had no
poor.
choice.
Yeah.
Probably a similar issue
3-year
to Minnesota.
contract.
They'll probably finish around the 8 and 7.
Yeah.
8 and 9. How many games?
Well,
are
it
there now?
No, I
confuses
reckon
me
they'll
now.
be-
They got to
around
go
the
back
five-
to
Has to be
16.
an odd number.
They got to go back to 16. I've
I'd
been a
be-
football
in-
fan for
in
20
and
years.
around 500.
I'd be surprised if Green Bay won, finished around 500. But
I reckon if they get to 6
Yeah.
and 10, you get an
Chicago
early
and Minnesota are
10
shit,
pick.
so maybe. NFC's pretty thin.
But
so.
I'll be interested if any trade-ups happen because obviously if the Bears are a great shot to get the number 1 pick, even if they move off Fields, like you said, someone has to take him. They won't have Fields as a backup, would they?
What I'll do if I was Dallas is I'd be just moving heaven and earth to try and just woo Justin Herbert, like whatever it takes. They're a team that could afford to buy the contract. Like I'd turf Prescott if you have to turf Martin, like whatever. Like
Well, Martin's
I'd just be
34
doing
year by
anything
year.
to get a guy that's a proven high end quarterback that's played in the NFL for 3 or 4 years.
Well, you're
Yeah.
saying this offseason that if anyone can win, it's the Rams. Same city, better coach.
Yeah, but I mean, the big brand of Dallas, come and be the Dallas quarterback. He's out of those, and a guy like that, if you can get him out of a less functional franchise into a better functioning one, and Dallas are kind of one of those only teams that if they had an elite quarterback, they probably could go close to winning a Super Bowl. There's not many in that group. The Jets are obviously another team like that, but they have one coming back from injury.
Yeah.
And Seattle aren't far away
Yeah.
from that, I don't think.
But Herbert just signed a contract,
Yeah.
and a massive one.
Yeah, but
So
Dallas
it'd
are
be
one
really
team. They
hard
could
to-
eat. They could eat it.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You don't think they'd have to move to many places? They're in cap hell. I don't think they got much cap room next
Dallas
year.
have,
Yeah, but
around,
what's
Dallas
Dak?
have around 21
Isn't
million.
Dak on?
Dak's
What's his hit next year?
Next year's 50 million. That's his last year.
Yeah, and Herbert's wouldn't be much more than 50 next year, and then you just kick the can down the road.
Yeah, but the problem is that you've got to eat the guaranteed
I reckon
portion
Dallas
of
will
the
be
money
on
too.
20 mil, Matt, if you look it up.
You got to eat the guaranteed portion of the contract, so he might still cop a hit of like 20 or 30. Then move on from Dak.
Yeah, there's some interesting things like do San Fran pay Purdy when they have to?
They have to.
That's
They have
really
to.
yeah.
He lives in San Fran with a roomie and
Yeah.
drives
Yeah,
a
I read
fucking
that.
Toyota Yaris or something because he can't make enough
Can't
money.
afford it.
Like he makes $800,000 a year, which I know sounds like a lot. High taxes.
Yeah.
He's left with like 400 G's.
I don't know. Like
and
it's an
then
interesting
it's San
conversation
Fran.
though, because he's obviously the flavour of the month. He's done really well, but like if he continues to go well for another year, do they just go, well, fuck, Kyle Shanahan can make it work with anyone, and just try and do it again and get whatever they in a 3rd round draft pick?
I don't know, but if you show no loyalty, you're going to lose other players wanting to play for you. I
Yeah,
think.
all those other guys were there
But
before
even
him.
if you look at
True.
that San Fran team, have they paid Debo? Have they paid Ayuk yet?
I was looking at that just now.
they
So
pay-
as of right now, San Fran are plus 43 million in the green. But as of next year, all this money comes due. They'll have to be doing some creative accounting. There'll be negative 10 mil.
So this is their window.
Yeah, it's
But-
Bosa and Debo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both, those two.
They fucked up
McCaffrey
McCaffrey
as
in the
well.
off-season. Yeah, they traded for the big McCaffrey contract. Yeah, I mean,
What was Dallas's, Matt?
At present, it's like 12 mil.
Oh, sorry.
where's Philadelphia?
I reckon they'll be 2 mil. I reckon they'll just be on it.
They're just so well run. Hey, like seriously.
They are really well run. They have the. Oh wait, no, they're not. they have like what? They have like 100K.
Oh wow.
What's the Jets? Where's the Jets?
But
This is as
They
of
don't
right
need
now.
100K.
The Jets probably
They're the
sound
best team in the
fucked
NFL.
because they've still got to restructure the next year of Aaron Rodgers' contract. He's not going to be playing for 80
Yeah, I think
million.
take all this with a grain of salt because
Where are you sourcing it from? Over the Cap? 'Cause
Sport Track.
Over the Cap is really good.
Okay.
I know the guy, Jason, who runs that. Shout out to Jason from Over the Cap. He's a Jets fan.
Cool flex, bro.
Yeah.
8 million.
We're at 8 million. Wow. I thought we would be.
tell me where the
more.
Patriots
Fuck.
are, Matt. Please tell me we've got
70 million.
140 million to spend.
2.8
Who
cents.
the fuck are we paying?
Who's their
Other
highest
than
paid?
Judon to be injured.
Who's their highest paid?
Yeah, true.
Surely Judon.
Yeah, but
It had
besides
to be
that,
Matthew Judon.
Yeah.
Then
Randy
they
Moss.
got
It
the
is
tight
indeed
end.
Matthew Judon.
The tight end they got.
How the fuck is Hunter Henry on
Henry, yeah,
15
yeah.
million a year? You are
Seriously.
kidding me.
Hunter Henry. He's another.
What the?
Wow.
Sorry, not 15 million a year. He's 15
Oh, yeah.
million this for his contract.
Fuck.
Oh, I was going to
Oh
say.
my
that's
That
not
is
bad.
obscene.
dude,
What, 15 million for his entire contract? How many years?
I don't know.
Matt,
If
do
it's
the,
3 years, it's cheap.
Matt, do the Bears still have like 40 million?
Oh no, sorry, that is per annum. That is
for-
that is
for
this
seconds.
year. That is
15
this year.
million per annum for a tight end
Yeah.
seems
It's
a bit
a
ridiculous.
base of-
You can
base of-
find one on any street corner in LA or
Yeah.
I mean, I
Boston.
know the salary cap goes up every year, but did we pay the greatest tight end of all time $15 million at any point?
No,
Like,
I don't think
seriously.
you did.
Paying
What was the
Hanahan-
what was the last year? That
But you
got
also
played?
didn't play the greatest quarterback of all time, a
Yeah.
big salary, and I
The
think this is the
vitamins.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
like has so the question needs to be asked then. You know, does Bill Belichick really know how to GM a franchise and handle those contracts?
No.
If you know he's highest, the best, greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. I hate to say it, it's true. Was honestly, he was typically making like what, $12-13 million a year. Like
Yeah.
it was something ridiculously low for his position and his talent. And then guys like Gronk and stuff just wanted to be there so badly that they were happy to take a pay cut too. You know,
Man, have a go at the fucking Niners squad. Trent Williams, Eric Armstead, Deebo Samuel, Fred Warner, George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Christian McCaffrey, Brendan Lee. Like, seriously.
Yeah. I remember when they drafted Eric Armstead, there was a time where that guy was considered a bust, but good coaching.
If you like outside of Judon, like the Niners' 10th best player will be better than the Patriots' second best player.
San Fran have the highest cap space right now at 43 million, but then they
that's
dropped.
this year.
Dallas have the third highest at 12. Cleveland 35. Dead. Fuck. Tampa's paying 78 million in dead cap. Well, they got rid of.
Oh, all the people that were there when
Yeah.
the last dance with Brady.
Yeah, exactly right. And that might even include some of Brady's contract too after his retirement.
Kansas City will be interesting how much Mahomes takes up.
Well, if it's just that team's, I don't know. I wouldn't want to say devoid of talent beyond Mahomes, but it just feels like it's young talent, rookie contract talent. There's not much else outside of Kelsey
And Jones, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and Chris Jones, who's not playing on a crazy contract this year, by the way. It's just on a prove it deal. For a guy like that, shouldn't be on a prove it deal.
Yeah, 30, I don't know, 30 years old, third contract part. And they're in a really interesting spot, KC, aren't they? Like they get it right. They could win another 4 Super Bowls, but how they manage the succession of all the players other than Mahomes around him.
Here's a quick question. For Andy Reid to overtake Bill Belichick, does he have to get more than 7 Super Bowls? Or can he get 4?
Well, Bill only got 6, didn't he?
No, Tom Brady got 7, didn't he?
Yeah, but he got one at Tampa,
Tampa, Evan. Yep, 6.
What's Andy got?
3.
No, 2, isn't it?
Oh, shit, he didn't win in Philly.
Yeah.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if he were to get to 4, say he wins another 2 in this 5-year stretch and retires, you'd probably still have to say Belichick, no?
Well, it depends. Belichick's only been able to get to the big game with one quarterback. And I know that's a longevity thing too.
Yeah.
But,
Andy Reid, the same thing would be.
Mate, he got
No,
there.
he
Oh,
got
with
there with
McNabb,
Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, but he got beat by Belichick in the game.
He
as well.
did get beat by Belichick, and then he got really close with Alex Smith. Like I think it depends. Look, it's always going to be subjective. I think Andy Reid is more of like I can turn a player around type guy. That's what I see out of Andy Reid. So Alex Smith was considered a bust, and then he ended up. Well, then he had a good little stretch at San Fran, finally under Harbaugh, and then ended up in a good position with Kansas City, and then got horribly injured. Mahomes, talented coming out of Texas Tech. Was it Texas Tech? But there's a reason he went 10th overall and not 1st overall that year, and that's because big arm.
Mitch Trubisky wanted to go too.
Well, the question was whether or not he was going to be that good, and but he was, high risk, high reward. And Donovan McNabb, I suppose he nurtured through his whole career. So I don't know.
My answer is 5 is enough if he does it with a quarterback that isn't Mahomes at any stage. Like, I think if he wins with 2 different quarterbacks, he could probably go 1 less and be considered greater. I think he's probably had a greater influence on Mahomes than what Belichick had on Brady, being a more defensive coach, and the whole Josh McDaniels relationship with Brady. But how do you know, not being in the quarterback and the offense room?
Just imagine if they took Mahomes, the Bears. Probably not being the same quarterback because
they'd fuck it up.
Yeah.
This is the Chicago Bears we're talking about, guys. They'd fuck it up. Anyway, garbage time over. Episode over. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment.
Podcast.
Give us some love. Just do all the good things that are going to
need
help
your
more
money.
people see this. We don't get their money. We get money off of YouTube. Soon, hopefully, so we stop wearing the costs ourselves. Keep listening. Stay tuned. The boys are going to say goodbye.
Toodaloo, motherfuckers.